Hello, my rap name is Alex. Welcome.
All power to the people. Right to live is mine.
Today we're going to talk about a little film franchise. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Star Wars, and specifically we're going to talk about the intersection between Star Wars and politics. If you've seen anything on the internet about Star Wars with, the talking head people, the people who talk about Star Wars all the time, perhaps you've been exposed to the idea of why can't we just leave Star Wars alone and have it just remain good old escapist fantasy and just leave the politics out of it? To which I say, what? Maybe you never saw the original Star Wars, but it was a movie that went huge mainstream and became the #1 movie in the world. But the movie was about, even if there is a huge, heavily resourced, massive empire that has developed an annihilation weapon that can just take everybody out, and even if you only have a ragtag little teeny group of, mismatched rebels here and there and everywhere, you still might as well fight back, because what else are you gonna do? I mean, there's a more political thing you could make a movie about. George Lucas, clearly he wanted to make a real science fiction movie where it was a lived-in universe and not the whole sterile, every spaceship is spotlessly clean. He wanted to make a space opera and, tie in all kinds of things about mythology. There were, all kinds of themes. It wasn't just about politics, sure, but it was politics. It began in legendary fashion. There was a young movie director, George Lucas, who the studios saw an opportunity in. They were like, this director has the it, and he can make movie studios a lot of money. And so they were like, can you make some films? And he was like, yes, I can, but I have this idea, and it's really on my mind, and I would love it if you would just sort of let me run through this idea and get it off my mind. It's got a lot of space, like a farm boy with a laser sword, and a guy who's like always in a scuba mask going like a 7-foot tall puppy, like this robot that looks like a garbage can. And the original idea for Han Solo was a big slimy green reptile thing. And so the studio was like, okay. And there are tons of videos on YouTube that you can watch about how harrowing an experience that was, trying to get the film in, and all kinds of things went wrong. And one of my favorite Star Wars behind-the-scenes stories is actually the story of how the whole movie was saved in the editing bay. Apparently, as genius as George Lucas is, he really needed a lot of help from his ex-wife and the other main editor of the film to make a coherent story come together, which was still coming together right up until release day. Release day happened, and then boom, I was a little boy. I had never seen franchising and merchandising, never in my wildest conceptions of any ideas that I ever had, ever thought that there was going to be like an actual movie that was going to be like powerful enough to like change the cups at McDonald's into Chewbacca. Like, that was not a thing that I saw coming. So Star Wars made like $1 bajillion, and George Lucas was like, yeah, actually, there wasn't just only supposed to be one Star Wars. There's actually like 9 of them. I'll start working on that sequel right away. So George Lucas was like, I'm going to bring in some help. He brought in a screenwriter. The first screenwriter passed away, unfortunately. He brought in Larry Kasdan as a replacement screenwriter, and Larry Kasdan is awesome. He brought in Irvin Kershner to direct it, and they let a black guy be in it, because how come everybody is white? And so they brought in Billy D. Williams, who is very not white. He is, chocolate brown, leading man of the late 70s and 80s, and just, so. In terms of the politics of Empire Strikes Back, they just kind of doubled down on the evilness of the evil. They were like, evil is not playing around, and so you have to like stand up and fully confront it. You don't always get to be 100% ready. Sometimes you just got to go with what you got, because evil will just force choke you, and it can be like insensate and immoral, and it'll just force choke you. And so it ended The Empire Strikes Back with one of the biggest cliffhangers, one of the biggest secret reveals of holding on to Hollywood secrets and letting it play out in the theater, and everybody in the whole theater gasping like and it just made another huge pile of money, and the Star Wars train just kept on rolling. And George Lucas said Star Wars is supposed to be for kids. I know that like grown-ups are making it be this thing, but like it's supposed to be for kids, and we're gonna put a whole lot of teddy bears in it, just so you know it's for kids. And yeah, then there was a lot of teddy bears in Star Wars, and that happened. And the whole thing ends with this rather nice message about how no matter how far you've gone down the path of evil, total murderous deeds, it's never too late to redeem yourself and at least do something to make the galaxy a better place. Cool beans. And so Mr. George Lucas, he said, these 3 movies that I've begun with aren't even really the beginning. There's like 3 more that happened before this, and I'm just going to take a little teeny vacation, and then I'm going to make those 3 movies that happened before, and then sometime way in the future, I'm going to make the 3 movies that happen after this. Man, it's going to be great. Can't wait. His little vacation started, and he said maybe 5 years, or maybe, I don't know, I'll let you know when I'm done. We're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and waiting. And when we finally just gave up waiting and said, all right, fine, there's no more Star Wars, out of the blue, more Star Wars. My rap name is Alex. This is All Power to the People. Thank you very much for watching this video. I got another video coming up real soon about the prequels. The prequels. Yeah, please watch that one. Please watch other All Power to the People videos, and I'll see you soon.